Welcome to Sudbury Sports Unbiased, your source for no spin coverage on the Sudbury Wolves, Sudbury Five, Sudbury Cyclones, and Sudbury Cups, with Rick and Craig. Hello, sports fans. Craig here, and we have our good friend Giuseppe Politi back with us, and he's got his replica of the World Cup trophy. And that couldn't be more appropriate because tonight we're going to talk about knockout football. And we already had one knockout game, and without any further ado, today Canada played South Africa, and Canada was victorious. Countrywide celebrations, and I'm going to invite Giuseppe Politi back to the show. Giuseppe, good to have you tonight.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm sure you watched the game. I know I watched the game. I was just glued to the television. What were your impressions of Canada today against South Africa?
I thought they were deserved winners. I was a little bit worried after missing so many chances. I thought it might have been one of those days where it wasn't going to go our way. The non-penalty call, the goal line clearances, so on and so forth. But in the end, I think the better team won. I don't recall our goalkeeper having to make any miraculous saves or South Africa doing a heck of a lot that was that dangerous. So Canada were deserved winners. And, even though they hadn't won the group, maybe this was, like I said in the previous chat, maybe it was a blessing in disguise because now Canada's in the round of 16, which is a very good accomplishment. And anything after this is bonus.
Uncharted waters, I would say.
Totally agree. And I mean, I know we're going to talk about it soon, but basically a lot of the minnows are gonna start evaporating here, and you're gonna get into some real teams around the world. And for Canada, they're gonna have two. I have to check. I don't have the rankings memorized, but I'm almost certain the Netherlands and Morocco are top 10 or top 12 teams in the world.
Yeah, they are. They're both in the top 10. So Canada won't have a picnic in their next game, but we're going to focus more on today's game. Giuseppe, I thought that Canada started out a little bit slowly, looked a little nervous, and I thought that South Africa started out pretty well. But in the second half of the first half, I thought that we had some great chances and we could have scored a goal or two before halftime.
Easily done. To be honest, I thought that Canada was only a bit poor in the second half. Early on, there was like a lot of technical mistakes, unforced errors, giving the ball away. But thankfully, they kept it together. Jesse made some subs, and sure enough, Stachio brought us to where we are today, and that's an incredible achievement for Canada.
Yeah, it really was. And I thought that Jesse Marsh coached a really good game today. He made some big calls too. Starting Moise Bombito, what did you think of that?
A great call. Basically, it's not that hard to figure out. I think everybody knew that Bombito didn't have 90 minutes. So I think he played around, was it an hour? Just short of an hour before the
Yes.
sub came in. And that makes sense, right? And he got a good hour out of him. Hopefully he can maybe last a little bit longer. But yeah, it was a brave call, but a good call.
I thought that Bombito was also very effective.
Yeah, solid performance. He got it right. There weren't any like major issues out there. Canada could have won by 2 or 3 today. Like they had chances. I'm still, given the where we are in the world with the VAR and the whole reviewing the play, I'm very surprised that Canada didn't get a PK because it looked pretty clear to me. It is what it is. They had chances. They deserve to win. And now, they play next Saturday at 1:00. So they have a good 6 days to rest or celebrate first.
Yes, absolutely.
Rest, recover. And I liked, obviously on social media, see little snippets of the interview with Jesse, but he's flying to watch the Morocco-Netherlands match and try to do the best scouting report so we can be best prepared for next week.
He does that a lot. He's very engaged, and I really appreciate that about Jesse Marsh. I thought Alphonso Davies didn't play much, but he certainly had an impact in the game. What did you think of Alphonso's performance?
Yeah, I mean, all in all, we don't know all the details, but I still think that he's a little bit reserved. He's not willing to make that like extra sprint that he has the ability to do, because when he's on at full speed, I don't think there's anybody else quicker than him. He did change the game a little. He came in, made some a good little plays out on the flank. And if anything, maybe just got in the other people's heads, right? Like attracting other defenders and opening up space for other players. So it was a good move. I'm thankful that he only had to play 15 minutes so that we can prolong any other sustained amount of time on the field until next week.
And Jacob Schaffelberg also made a big difference when he came off the bench. He was the one who got the assist on the winning goal by Eustachio. And that was a great play by Schaffelberg. Great pass. And you got to give Jacob Schaffelberg props too.
I thought he came on. He brought some energy out on the right flank that maybe Buchanan didn't have today. Didn't get going. But again, it's easy to point fingers, right? Like Schaffelberg's coming in fresh, energetic.
Yes.
It's much different than you're coming in fresh and you're on for 25 minutes, whereas TJ Buchanan was. On for 60, 75 minutes. Why? I can't remember what it was, but he came in and started delivering crosses, and the cross that he put in was not even met by a Canadian player, but the second ball and Eustachio was at the top of the box and finished it well.
Yeah, that was a great shot by Eustachio. I looked at that replay several times. Ronald Williams in the net for South Africa had a terrific game, and it took a perfect shot to beat him. And all credit to Stefan Eustachio, a well-placed shot. I would call that a world-class goal.
Yeah, and deserved. Canada deserved to win. It was watching with friends and other soccer colleagues. It's like if there's any time to score, it's better late because then you don't have to hold on as long, right?
That's right.
If it would have happened earlier in the game, you never know what could have happened. It's almost like they just by the time the celebration was over, there wasn't much time left for South Africa to react. I think South Africa kind of thought, oh, we're just going to get this to overtime, maybe get it to penalties. I think they would have been very happy with that, to be honest.
They would have been extremely happy because if you noticed in the second half, South Africa was sitting on the ball. I mean, they weren't parking the bus, but they were doing the next best thing, and that is defender back to keeper, back to the other defender, back to the keeper, back to the other defender. They were doing a lot of time waste.
Yeah, and hey, I mean that's part of tactics, that's part of strategy, and I'm just happy that Canada pulled through because the amount of chances they generated, they deserved the win.
Jesse Marsh, after the game, he called his guys Canadian heroes. Is that hyperbole or is there something to that?
Maybe heroes in sport. Yeah. Heroes in sport for sure. Heroes in hopefully growing the game, having people believe that we can be a soccer country. We're, like you said, we're in uncharted territory. And let's hope this is a stepping stone. Whether we don't know what's going to happen in a week, but we can't be disappointed with whatever happens from here on out. If somebody would have said, hey, you're going to make the round of 16 at the beginning of the tournament, we all would have taken it.
Absolutely. I think the entire nation would have gone bonkers if that would have taken place. But guess what? It's here.
It's
So
here.
all credit for Canada in that regard. What does this win do for soccer in Canada? Because soccer has been a fringe sport. Even my broadcast partner Rick Wyman. People aren't really crazy about the World Cup, and then of course you get these ridiculous ratings on television. Does this validate that soccer is a mainstream sport now in this country?
I don't know if it absolutely validates it, but it's certainly going to push it forward. For soccer to grow in Canada, we need to see success. And success happened in the women's side in the last 10 years with, World Cup. I know they didn't win the World Cup, but going deep into the tournament, winning the Olympics, etc. We just needed it on the men's side. So this is going to move the game forward, hopefully move engagement forward. That soccer can be the sport of choice. We're not just a hockey country.
And maybe people will start believing in it because, today I was watching the game and I'm watching it and I'm just saying to myself, this can't happen again because as one analyst that I follow, a guy named Christian Jack said, these were usually the kind of games that Canada would find a way to lose. Dominate the game, dominate the shots, 12 shots, 7 on target, did much better than South Africa. And these would be the games quite often we would lose and we'd be heartbroken. It's nice to be on the other side.
Totally agreed. Totally agreed. In fact, it kind of reminded me a little bit of some of the Cyclones games this year. It's just that I was worried. I was really worried in the second half, especially when I don't know if it was around maybe just before a hydration break or just after. There was a lot of mistakes and giving the ball away and knocking the ball out of bounds. I was like, please don't let it slip away because they deserve better. And I'm glad they were able to They were deserved winners. Glad they were able to pull it together.
Yeah, I was very pleased and pleased for Jesse Marsh because, Jesse Marsh has taken a lot of criticism in certain quarters, but I think that Jesse Marsh probably coached one of his best games for Canada today.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got it right. It wasn't that difficult to predict what was going to happen. I didn't see Canada get exposed in any way because of tactical setup or whatever. I thought they pressed reasonably well, and when they did get beat through the press, they recovered well. And there wasn't a lot of times where you're like, "Oh boy, you're on your edge. Like here it comes. We're going to concede." And take the goalkeeper. Crepeau did not have to make any major saves. Even the one that he dove today in the second half, I think to his left, the shot would have gone wide anyway. South Africa might have missed maybe one chance, but it didn't hit the net. And in comparison, it was a lopsided stat. Canada had way more chances.
In fact, South Africa only had one shot on target. So
There
I
you go.
think I give credit to a great defensive job by Canada today.
Yeah, organized, simple.
Yep. So we've got a few more knockout games to look at, and we're going to do this on a day by day basis. So we've gone through Sunday. Of course, this was the only game on the docket. We've got 3 games tomorrow, and Giuseppe, we got a couple of bangers: Brazil and Japan. Who do you like in that game?
I think the easy choice is Brazil. I don't think it'll be an easy game. I think Japan will be organized um, and disciplined, but I still think Brazil will have just their class stand out. Right now, the Vinny Jr. and goals, I think they're going to win that match.
That's going to be a close game. I think Japan is flying under the radar. Brazil is kind of hard to read. They really haven't hit their stride in this tournament. And if Brazil kicks it up a notch or two, I think they will beat Japan. I'll say Brazil will win, but I think it'll be a 2-1 game.
Could be, could be. I still think we can agree on Brazil.
Next game tomorrow, Germany and Paraguay. Who do you like in that game?
I think the easy choice is Germany. It might be close. You never know. Some of these teams can sit back and just wait and be patient and maybe not go for it. I think Germany's the easy choice. I just don't see how Paraguay does this. However, I mean, we did the whole predictions for the group stage and we didn't get everything right. So there might be a shock. It could be a shock. There's going to be a shock at some point because somebody's going to hold on and take it to overtime and win it in PKs. Something's going to happen at some point.
I'm not so sure that'll be this game, but I think Germany will win this one. I'm looking at a 2-0 score line.
That's fair.
Yeah. And then we've got the big heavyweight matchup. And the big heavyweight matchup on Monday night, Netherlands and Morocco. That is
It's a tough one. I want Morocco to win because I'm a Morocco fan. I'd like to see that team do well. It's tough. I'm going to choose Morocco.
yeah, I'm going to say Morocco too, but I think this could be one of those that goes to PKs.
I agree. I don't see one team winning in a lopsided affair at all. If that happens, I would be very surprised or someone got a red card or something silly happened. But Netherlands has performed well in this tournament. They actually performed better than I expected. I'm not a big fan of the coach, and I was expecting them to underperform. But I'm hoping Morocco can pull through here.
Starting with the Tuesday games, we have Cote d'Ivoire and we have Norway. Who do you like in that game?
I think Norway will come through. I like Norway's tactic to save their guys for the knockout rounds. I thought it was a smart move, and I see Haaland padding his stats in that.
Yeah, I see Haaland getting at least one goal, and I can probably even see him getting a brace. That could be a higher scoring game, but I don't see Cote d'Ivoire holding Norway to anything less than 2 goals, and I can see a 3-1 game in favor of Norway.
Yeah, I mean that's their style. So I mean they've rested guys. Hopefully they're prepared. I would personally like to see Holland go at least another round.
Next game on Tuesday, France and Sweden. Anybody going to slow France down at this stage?
I don't think it's going to be Sweden. So I think France wins that. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but 2-0 without too much stress.
Yeah, I think France will be the easy winner in that game. And then we have the slog game at 9 p.m. on Tuesday, Ecuador and Mexico. This is going to be a defensive slugfest. Who wins this one?
I still think I'm going to go with the hosts. I think Mexico will prevail. I don't know. I don't know too much about Ecuador. I mean, they might put up a little bit of a fight, but for some reason, Mexico could win. It could be an extra time, something like that.
I think Mexico will be very difficult to beat at altitude at the Azteca. I see Mexico winning that game, probably 2-1 or 2-0. That's how I see that one. Moving on to Wednesday, we have England and DR Congo. Are the British going home or are they moving on?
Now they're moving on. As much as I'd like to see them go out, I just can't. I don't see Congo doing it. England will win.
Yeah, I think they will too, but I think the DR Congo might slow them down. This may be a 1-goal game. I can see a 2-1 game for England here. Next game on Wednesday, Belgium and Senegal. This could be an interesting one.
Yeah, I still think Senegal. Sorry, I still think Belgium will prevail. I think that they might have had a slow start to the tournament, but probably better than their first two games. So they won. I know they won their last group match. I think Belgium will come out of this one.
I'm going to call this an upset special. I think
Okay.
Senegal got their boots going against Iraq, and Senegal has been underperforming. They're a terrific side. I think Senegal pulls a major upset here and sends Belgium home.
Anything is possible.
You bet. Next game on Wednesday, USA and Bosnia Herzegovina. USA continuing on.
I do. Yeah, I think as hosts, I wasn't. Bosnia. I'm still not thrilled that Italy was eliminated on PKs, so I want Bosnia out. And I still think the USA has the USA, Canada, and Mexico. They have that host nation factor that's pushing them forward, like most tournament hosts have in this tournament. So I think the US will be too strong for them.
Yeah, I see the US winning that game. I think 2-0 would be not an inappropriate score. Let's move on to Thursday, Spain and Austria. I think this is Spain's to lose. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean this should be straightforward. Anytime you have these big teams against the not so big teams, I think it's all about scoring early. If Spain scores early, I think they're going to cruise. The longer the game goes 0-0, 0-0, that's exactly what the underdog wants, and you never know if they can snatch it at the end or push it to overtime, something like that. Also, keeping games within one goal. To me, I still think that Spain will get through on that match.
Sure. Although I was impressed with Austria, they had a wild game in their last group game against Algeria. That was some crazy finish, but I just don't see Austria hanging in with Spain, in all honesty. So I would say probably a 3-1 win for Spain.
They will prevail likely.
Yeah, I would expect that. Next game. Oh, this is a good one. Portugal and Croatia. Two teams that are veteran teams, both need to win, both want to win. I think this game will be in Toronto. Who prevails in this one?
I would say Portugal will prevail. I think this is probably the best matchup of all the games in terms of heavy hitters. Portugal, I mean, they've been okay. I still don't think we've seen the best version of them. And I just think the wheels are going to fall off for Croatia. I also think that for anybody dreaming of a Portugal Argentina final, we need Portugal to win.
For certain. I don't know, but something funny tells me that Croatia may have one great performance left in them, and I have a funny feeling it might be in this game. So I'm actually going to take Croatia in this game to pull an upset.
There you go.
There you go. And we have one more game on Thursday, very late, and that's Switzerland and Algeria. Who do you like in that game?
To be honest, I just said one. That one was the previous one was probably the most interesting game. This one might be the least interesting. I would like to see Algeria pull it off. So of all the upsets, this would probably be my first one. I'd like to see Algeria get to the next round. So this is more of like I'm cheering for the underdog.
I'd like to see it too. I didn't think that Switzerland was that convincing when they defeated Canada. In fact, Canada probably should have got a result in that game. And the Algerians, they showed me a lot of character, coming back late and and forcing the time. So I think this could be one of those that goes to extra time and maybe pens. And I'm going to go with you on that one. I think Algeria could pull the upset. We're moving on to Friday, Australia and Egypt. Who do you like in that game?
I think Egypt will advance one round. I think it'll be tight though, and I think it could be a long day for both teams. I could see this being going all the way, and maybe even ending in PKs. But I think Egypt has something this year that'll get them one more round.
I think the difference in these two teams is one guy, and that's Mo Salah. I think Mo Salah could be the difference. I like the Aussies. I like the way they play, but I think Egypt might have just a little too much for them. But I think a 1-0 game here would be not a surprise to me.
I think Egypt will pull through.
The next game is David versus Goliath, Argentina versus Cabo Verde. Do you want to buy a lottery ticket or will you take Cabo Verde on the underdog?
I would love to see the underdog win here, but I can't see Argentina going out here. I would love to see it though, and I hope of all the round of 32 matchups, I hope this is the one that can shock the world because I don't want to see Argentina repeat. If I'm a betting person, Argentina wins this.
Could you imagine if Capo Verde pulled the result here? This would
It could,
probably be the greatest upset in World Cup history.
it might as well be, and honestly, they haven't lost a game yet. So if their goalie can stand on his head and get them to PKs, it's possible. Anything's possible.
You never know. And one last round of 32 game, Colombia and Ghana. Who do you like in that game, Giuseppe?
I think Colombia will win this one. It'll be close though. I'm pretty sure Colombia won their group with Portugal.
They did?
Yeah, I think they're good for another round. In fact, their path to the quarters is very feasible. So I think Colombia is going to seize the opportunity.
Yeah. Colombia's been a dark horse. I've been telling Rick this for several months, and Rick looks at me, "What do you mean Colombia's a dark horse?" I said, "Just watch." And I think Colombia could make a deep run in this tournament. They will dispose of Ghana. Ghana's been a tough team, though. I can see Colombia winning this game like 2-1. That's what I'm thinking in that regard.
Mhm.
So there's our round of 32 predictions. And the good news is, Giuseppe, that we have soccer from Monday to Friday, just like it really should be, right?
Yeah, I love watching it. It's something to look forward to every day, and we're going to enjoy it all week because Canada's still in. We've got a reason to be engaged, and next Saturday is going to be amazing. So the
But it
next
is
7 days are going to be fun.
It's going to be amazing. And like you said, I think there's going to be some shocks. I think there's going to be some real upsets. And you never know, there may be some managerial sackings because, when teams get upset at the World Cup and you're a coach, you know something about this. In coaching, they always say you're hired to be fired. And when you lose at the knockout stage in the World Cup and you're a favorite, quite often your head goes with your team.
Yeah, well, it's going to happen somewhere. So at some point, it's going to happen.
That's right. So that's our prediction show for the round of 32. Giuseppe, I hope you'll come back to do the quarterfinals because we're making your job less and less all the time now. So
You
we're
got
going to
it.
go from the round of 32. We're going to go to the round of 16. That means only 8 games, but maybe some more in-depth coverage. And the good news is, as you said, Canada's going to be in that round of 16. And I'll tell you, Canada may be a dangerous opponent, but
Yeah, they
we'll
have.
leave that
Yeah,
until next week.
yeah, they got nothing to lose at this point.
We'll leave that until next week. Giuseppe, many thanks for coming back. I really appreciate your time, appreciate your wisdom, and appreciate your prognostications. But as I always say to Rick, any prognostications we make are for recreational purposes only. Do not hawk the furniture and do not take a mortgage out on your house based on our picks.
Exactly.
It's called legal liability stuff.
Hmm.
So, Giuseppe, we appreciate your time and we'll look forward to seeing you hopefully sometime later in the week.
You got it. Enjoy the
All
week.
right.
Enjoy the games.
You too.
Friday evening. Yeah.
You come on Friday morning before the Cyclones play in the evening.
Sure.
Does that
Let's
work?
coordinate. Yeah, sure.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Giuseppe.
Okay. Have a good night.
Appreciate your help.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.